Here's the thing, the best deal in Arizona 2026 might be avoiding the deal. Markets that boomed on commuters and new builds are hitting an affordability wall while price growth cools. Sounds counterintuitive? That's the point. I'm exposing 10 cities where the low sticker price hides higher ongoing costs and thin fundamentals. We're talking supply versus jobs, rents that won't carry the note, and near flat growth that turns a small mistake into a long hold. Stay with me. By the time we hit number 1, you'll see why cheap without local demand is just expensive in slow motion. Before we continue, hit subscribe so you never miss the latest updates. Number 1, Phoenix. You expect Phoenix to be the villain, right? It's expensive, it ran hot, and the headlines love it. Here's the twist. The pain in Phoenix is obvious, and that weirdly makes it easier to navigate. You can see the punch coming, you can price it in. The city took the full run-up. List prices stretched, commutes stretched, patience stretched as you waited on the 10 or the 101, wondering who thought a 40-minute drive was close. But here's the catch. The base economy is not a one-trick pony anymore. From downtown high-rises to Chandler's office parks, real employers live here. That keeps a floor under rents when buyers step back. Let's break it down. When tech, finance, healthcare, and logistics share the same sandbox, job losses don't hit all at once. That diversity matters when your underwriting hinges on rent actually being paid on the first. Construction slowed inside the core too. Fewer easy lots, tighter infill rules, and longer timelines mean supply doesn't swamp you the same way it can in the edge cities. Vacancies still happen, but they clear faster because the tenant pool is deeper near the jobs. Forecasts for 2026 point to flat to low single-digit price moves. Not thrilling. Not terrifying either. It's that boring middle lane where your leverage won't save you, but it won't destroy you if you're disciplined. Insurance and utilities are creeping up. Heat domes make AC units cry, and carriers don't love hail or monsoon claims. But rents in the core have layers. A nurse, a call center lead, a software analyst, a grad student roommate stack. Someone fills the unit. Phoenix is pricey, yes. It's also less of a value trap than places selling the fantasy of cheap if your spreadsheet assumes infinite commuters. Landlords here still win with solid product near employment nodes, even if the cap rate isn't cute on day 1. Misprice by a little, you feel it. Miss by a lot, you still have a path to stabilize because demand exists Monday through Friday, not just on weekends when model homes hand out cookies. So, here's the thing. If the hub looks cautious, you already know what that implies for the spokes. Phoenix isn't good. It's just less bad than deals that only work on a billboard. Let's head west where shiny master plans meet empty wallets. Number 2, Buckeye. It's the ad your cousin keeps texting you. Buckeye new build for less than your car. Cute. Then the spreadsheet wakes up. Base price looks friendly. Builder credits feel like free dessert. And those model homes? Cookies on the counter. Scent machine cranked to vanilla startup. Fastest growing city vibes everywhere. Golf carts crossing fresh asphalt. Sales reps talking future schools and parks like they're already open. But here's the catch. Prices jumped ahead of local paychecks. Commute times stretched to 45 to 60 minutes when the 10 decides to be the 10, and rents aren't matching the mortgage plus the extras. Tenants don't pay a premium to live far from work while waiting on amenities that are still in a binder. They see the same countertops in every listing and negotiate. You're left trying to sell space to someone who values time. Let's break it down. New build segments are carrying elevated months of supply, which caps rent growth and stretches days on market. It's real. It's happening. More boxes for lease, longer wait for a qualified renter, more concessions to keep leads warm. Your deal turns into a holding pattern, and that's before the stealth costs. HOAs are not optional. New build insurance is priced like the carriers know the roof is bigger and the claims get spicy. Then summer hits and the utility bill does burpees. Larger floor plans with sun-blasted exposures chew through kilowatts like a teenager through snacks. So here's the thing. If the rent can't carry all-in costs, you're not cash flowing. You're crossing your fingers for appreciation in a year when forecasts are calling for flat vibes. That's not a value play. That's a donation. The tenant pool isn't bad, it's budget sensitive. Commuters won't stretch for granite when the gas tank is already a second job. Families trading up care about schools, parks, and storefronts actually open, not just renderings. Until more local jobs land with salaries that match the sticker, you're subsidizing the distance. Mini payoff. Buckeye unlocks the value trap cleanly. Year 1, the numbers almost pencil with incentives. By year 2, the HOA increase and AC service, and 1 month of vacancy erase the story you told your lender. Let that sink in. Now we go south to a classic commuter town chasing Phoenix paychecks Number 3, Casa Grande. Casa Grande sold the mega factory halo like it was a cheat code. Big announcements, glossy press releases, and suddenly every subdivision felt pre-successful. Sounds great, but did wages keep up? Not really. The rooftops arrived faster than the paychecks that could comfortably support them, and that's where the math turns mean. Set up first. You've got logistics hubs along the corridors, warehouses humming, and a steady drip of industrial wins. That brings traffic, some overtime, and a lot of optimism. Builders rode that energy with phase after phase of homes. Drive a few miles and the stucco repeats like a Spotify loop. Wide lots, 3-car garages, plenty of curb appeal. On a listing site, it reads affordable. In real life, those monthly line items add up. But here's the catch. Median household income hasn't leapt to suburban executive levels, and rents aren't close to mortgage plus, HOA plus insurance on newer product. A big share of local employment is shift-based, not office salaried, which means budgets are precise and unforgiving. When take-home pay is built around set hourly rates, there's no wiggle room for a surprise premium just because the kitchen island is huge. Let's break it down. Price-to-income ratios outran local wage growth, which compresses rent yields. Landlords push for an extra $150 and hit silence. Tenants counter with hard numbers. Commute costs, groceries, another AC-heavy summer. Days on market stretch, concessions creep in, and the investment property becomes an interest-only hobby. It's real. It's happening. Investors who bought on appreciation narratives are now praying for rent bumps that don't show up. The rent roll looks flat, while insurance renewals look like they drank espresso. HOA fees haven't met a year they didn't like. Toss in a mid-year appliance failure, and that cap rate you pitched at dinner turns into an apology tour. This is what a halo without matching incomes does. When supply lands faster than households with the right pay, prices stall and rents soften. It's not a crash, it's a slow leak. And slow leaks are brutal because they keep you paying while you wait for momentum that never quite arrives. It's like owning a treadmill set to incline with no off switch. Mini payoff, Casa Grande looks affordable on Zillow and expensive the second your tenant base can't cover pity. Next, a small town with big sticker shock per paycheck. Number 4, Florence. Florence is the classic, how is this still under that price? Listing. The sticker whispers deal, the map screams distance. It's far-flung, amenities are thin, and most rooftops come packaged with HOAs that treat your wallet like a subscription service. But here's the catch. The low entry cost hides heavy running costs. Those pretty stucco boxes soak up summer power like a server farm. Insurance keeps creeping because heat, storms, and replacement costs aren't cheap. And the tenant pool? Thin. You're fishing in a small pond, while bigger towns nearby hoover up demand with shorter commutes and fuller shopping carts. Let's break it down. If your renter can't tolerate the drive to where salaries live, they won't stretch for your asking rent. They'll either lowball or ghost. Every extra minute on that highway shows up in your pricing power. You push the number, they do the math on gas, time, and wear on a car that already hates the heat, then they pass. Vacancies linger, concessions show up, and your pro forma skips leg day. You'll feel the price-to-income tipping point when days on market start lengthening while rents refuse to budge. That's the tell. Listings sit, inquiries drip, and the only movement is yours. Down on price or up on freebies. The spreadsheet assumes a 30-day lease-up. Reality nods and asks for 60, maybe 90, and a pet fee waiver to sweeten the deal. Now the part that breaks spirits. One AC dies in July and your cash flow fantasy melts faster than your dashboard. That repair hits like a car payment with a protein shake. Add an HOA increase mid-year and a jumpy insurance renewal, and the cheap house graduates to monthly surprise. So here's the thing. The spreadsheet said yes because the mortgage looked like a gym membership. The electric bill said stop. Then water, trash, HOA, and a service call added a chorus. This is why affordable turns slippery in a place where demand is shallow and distances are real. You can still make it work, but you need a discount that pays for vacancy, utilities, and a summer AC fund you actually contribute to, not a line you promise to revisit. Mini payoff. Florence is a textbook value trap. Low entry price, high running costs, weak rent support. Now for a bigger city that looks safer on paper but has its own trapdoors. Number 5, Tucson. You hear college town and think safe. Dorms, game day, endless renters. Not when growth stalls. Tucson has bones. University of Arizona, Davis-Monthan, Banner, and Carondelet. Real anchors. Solid, dependable, and not enough on their own to squeeze prices higher without help from wages. But here's the catch. Wage growth lags. Rents cooled after the sugar high of 2021 to 2022. Inventory isn't tight enough to force bidding wars on either side. You'll see listings hang, price cuts inch down, and rent ads sit just long enough to make you start tossing in a free month. That's not panic. That's a flat line. Investors chase cash flow here because cap rates look okay on paper. Then maintenance and insurance reset mindset. Mid-century stucco means old cast iron, tired swamp coolers converted to AC, roofs that pout at monsoon season. Carriers got stingier, premiums climbed, and your decent cap became barely covers. It's real. It's happening. You underwrite a 10-year water heater, and it taps out at year 3. Forecasts point to near-flat appreciation into 2026. Rent gains diverge by neighborhood. Some corridors near the university and the medical hubs still move. Others feel stuck. You can't throw a dart and win. You have to know which side of a traffic artery gets late-night noise or which block shifted to student-heavy leases that scare families. Buy on the wrong street and you have zero pricing power, just a box competing with 5 similar boxes and one landlord willing to blink first. So here's the thing. Tucson rewards precision. A duplex near transit with off-street parking and shade wins. A tired ranch with deferred plumbing and a shiny rent pro forma loses. If you need equity to bail you out, 2026 won't save you. The appreciation fairy is on vacation and the rent fairy wants receipts. Strong pockets exist, but they demand discipline, real inspections, real reserves, and a rent strategy that accounts for slower lease-ups and higher turnover touch-ups. Think touchless faucets later, supply lines, and seals now. It's like running a food truck. The margin lives in the parts you don't post on Instagram. Mini payoff. Tucson punishes sloppy underwriting. It's stable-ish, but unforgiving when you overpay or skip the boring fixes that keep tenants renewing. Ready for a suburb where the insurance line item kills the vibe? Number 6. Mesa. Mesa looks sensible on the surface. Median vibes, middle price point, feels safe. But here's the catch. That middle starts charging top-tier money the second you own it. The brochure shows light rail, parks, and cute infill. The monthly bills show heat, age, and insurance acting like they've got main character energy. You've got established suburbs, a legit light rail spine, and an older housing stock that mixes with shiny infill boxes. Sounds balanced, right? Then you tour a 1970s ranch and see galvanized supply lines, an HVAC older than your favorite meme, and single-pane windows begging for retirement. That is the Mesa combo. Good location, legacy bones, and a punchy repair tab. Utilities do not play here. Summer runs the meter like it's sponsored. Larger lots and older insulation mean the AC works overtime. Insurance? Up and to the right. Carriers price roofs, electrical panels, and wind exposure like they've read your inspection report. Your middle market carry cost starts whispering luxury. Rents are decent. They cover the note if you bought right, but they aren't runaway. Tenants will pay for clean, updated, and near transit. They won't pay Scottsdale fantasies for a dated kitchen and swampy ductwork. Value-add turns get pricey fast. You think paint and pulls. The house wants a panel upgrade, new lines, low-E windows, and a full HVAC swap. That's not a weekend. That's a budget. Price growth is cooling, rent growth is uneven, and turnover cost is rising. When your make-ready includes drywall patches, a full appliance kit, and a jump in labor rates, that average turnover becomes a small renovation. And if you underwrote Phoenix-level rent pressure, you overestimated demand. Mesa has depth, but it's rational. You have to earn every extra dollar with real upgrades, not staging and a scented candle. Here's where deals die. Roof, AC, windows, water heater, then the sewer line winks. Your pro forma doesn't crater from one hit. It bleeds from 10 small ones. It's like paying subscription fees for every part of the house, and they all renew in July. So Mesa isn't a disaster. It's death by maintenance if you misprice renovations and assume the rent will chase you. Buy smart, reserve heavy, and don't confuse middle with cheap. Let's talk about a neighbor that's wrestling with affordability and perception. Number 7, Glendale. Glendale sells the stadium glow like it can pay your mortgage by itself. Concert crowds, game day jerseys, fireworks. It looks electric. The math? It doesn't care who's headlining Saturday. Your note is due Thursday. You've got the entertainment district up front and older subdivisions stretching behind it. Block walls, ranch homes, lots of single-family rentals sprinkled across grids. Plenty of product, plenty of turnover. On a map, it feels like easy inventory. In a spreadsheet, it's a lot of line items waiting their turn. But here's the catch. Rents aren't keeping pace with rising expenses. Insurance renewals creep, utilities trend up, and certain pockets carry a crime perception tax that spooks better tenants or pushes them to insist on concessions. You can screen like a hawk and still deal with more applications, more denials, more days vacant. Thin margins hate delay. Let's break it down. Post-2021, prices popped faster than rents. That broke the neat ratio you hoped for. In several tracks, days on market have been drifting upward, which means more showings, more make-ready touch-ups, more time paying for grass cuts and AC tune-ups while you wait. It's real. It's happening. And every extra week shaves your annual yield. Turnover risk bites here because the tenant base is mixed. Service workers tied to the arena area, commuters chasing value, and families hunting school zones. Screening costs stack. application fees don't cover your time. Pet addendums, deposit negotiations, and can you hold it until next Friday? Emails become a part-time job. Margins shrink by email thread. Event-driven demand is seasonal. Your bookings spike when the schedule does, but long-term renters don't pay more because a megastar's in town. You'll feel the split personality. Saturday surge, Monday silence. Meanwhile, property taxes, insurance, and HOA notices march on with metronome precision. So here's the thing. Glendale works when you buy the right block. Nail renovations that matter. HVAC, windows, security lighting, and price like a pro. You need clean lines, reliable systems, and a rent that matches the street, not the stadium calendar. Miss any of that and 2026 punishes the average deal. It's like owning a treadmill that speeds up when your cash flow slows down. When the hype fades Monday, you still have Tuesday's repair bill and Thursday's mortgage. If Glendale is a coin flip, Surprise is a slow leak. Number 8. Surprise. Surprise looks clean, newer, easy. You tour a cul-de-sac, see manicured gravel, a community pool, maybe a pickleball court, and your brain goes, this will manage itself. Then your spreadsheet ages 10 years, the mortgage is fine. The rest of the line items do sprints. Set up first. Surprise leans retiree-friendly. Newer builds, wider hallways, low steps, HOA maintained fronts. Amenities everywhere. Fitness rooms, gated entries, planned events. It feels turnkey. It markets itself as low stress, and it's convincing during daylight hours and an open house cookie. But here's the catch, those HOAs add up. Some are layered, master plus sub-association, so you're paying twice for the same fountain. Bigger homes come standard, which means bigger utility loads. Summer turns your kilowatt usage into cardio and the bill keeps pace. Meanwhile, local wage growth isn't racing ahead, so tenant budgets stall out right where your break-even lives. Cash flow drifts towards zero and refuses to come back. Let's break it down. The tenant pool skews two ways: fixed incomes and commuters. Fixed incomes hate rent hikes. They like predictability and they negotiate with receipts. Commuters won't pay premium rent for a long drive when the gas tank already wants a side hustle. Both groups are stable, but neither throws you extra dollars for granite or a smart thermostat. On the trend line, price appreciation is cooling while rent growth plateaus as the supply of similar homes matures. You list and you're competing with 5 floor plans that look like yours, all staged with the same white towels and a plant. It's real, it's happening. You lower the ask or you offer a concession, and there goes your month. Insurance re-rating is the quiet hit. Larger roofs mean larger replacement costs, and panels with solar can trigger higher coverage or picky underwriting. Carriers want more. Your escrow swells and your neat cap rate melts like an ice cream in July. It's like owning a treadmill that starts fast and never slows down. You keep running to stay in place. So here's the thing. Surprise looks turnkey. It feels treadmill. The homes are lovely. The math is grumpy. Mini payoff. Surprise is the definition of nice house wrong math in 2026. Farther south, the affordability inversion gets louder. Number 9, Yuma. Yuma promises low prices and endless sun. It also hands you volatility like a parting gift. Sounds like a warm, affordable win. Here's the twist. The checks don't hit the same months the bills do. Let's set the stage. The economy leans on agriculture, the military base, and a whole wave of snowbirds who treat winter like a rental season. That mix brings traffic and short bursts of demand. It also brings gaps. When fields slow and visitors fly home, the inbox goes quiet. But here's the catch. Local incomes trail costs. Rents wobble with the calendar, and the heat is not cute. Extreme temps punish operating budgets. You'll run AC units like they're in a marathon, or then pay to fix them like they're pro athletes. Power bills jump, filters clog, capacitors fail, line items don't wait for prime season, vacancy risk spikes off season. List a home in late spring and watch leads drip. You start with a firm ask, then soften to keep the meter from running. Concessions creep in. Free week, pet fee credit, mid-lease tune-up. Anything to land a qualified renter before the summer oven turns your showings into let's circle back. AC units live short, expensive lives. Coils cook, compressors tap out early. Shade and maintenance help, but the climate sets the rules. Plan a reserve as if every system is 2 birthdays older than the install date. Skip that and you'll be on the phone in July, man, authorizing a replacement you thought you could dodge till next year. Rent growth across Western markets has softened, and Yuma's seasonality turns that softness into whiplash. Spring looks fine. Fall gets quiet. Winter pops if your place hits the snowbird window. Miss the window and you're carrying. It's real, it's happening. If your model needs steady, Yuma serves choppy. Here's the thing. Yuma can work if you run it like a niche. Furnished mid-term for travel nurses, tight utilities, ruthless HVAC care, staggered lease expirations. That's a playbook, not a vibe. First-timers expecting Phoenix-style stability get humbled fast. Summer bills turn your cash cow into a cactus. It stands there, looks hardy, and still finds a way to poke you every month. Mini payoff. Great for operators with systems, rough for anyone winging it. Last stop, expensive, pretty, and stingy with yield. Number 10, Flagstaff. Flagstaff looks like a screensaver and charges like a luxury car payment. The mountain air, the pine smell, the snow flurries in a state built for AC, your heart says yes. Your lender clears their throat. That's the vibe. Let's set it up. You've got a university heartbeat, steady tourism, and a tight map with limited buildable land. High elevation gives it that summer cool factor Arizonans crave when the valley cooks. Supply doesn't sprawl, it squeezes. That scarcity props prices and makes every listing feel rare, which is cute until you see the monthly. But here's the catch. Price to income is harsh. Insurance isn't desert cheap up here, and utilities spike because you're paying for heat in winter and still handling shoulder season swings. Then toss in short-term rental rules that ebb and flow. One meeting, you're good. Next vote, you're revising your entire plan. It's regulatory whiplash with a side of HOA letters. Locals get priced out, so the ownership base tilts toward investors who chase STR revenue to make the math work. That pushes returns into the policy casino. When the town talks caps, registration, or occupancy tweaks, your projected nightly rate is suddenly a suggestion. Low supply props values, sure, but rent caps and STR pushback crush yield. It's real. It's happening. Long-term tenants can't meet owner expectations baked around STR comps. They have W-2s and school runs, not bachelor party budgets. You list for a number that assumes the mountain premium, they counter with year-round affordability. The gap sits there, shouting. So you pivot short-term. Now you're exposed to vacancy swings, cleaning schedules, and the joy of last-minute cancellations because the road iced overnight. Here's the thing. Beautiful never meant profitable. The numbers carry condition risk, weather risk, and policy risk. Your boiler forgets how to be a boiler. Your roof acts like a subscription. Your exterior paint ages a decade in a storm weekend. It's like owning a ski jacket in a thrift store. Everyone wants to try it on, but the buyer pool with cash is smaller than you think. Mini payoff. Flagstaff is elite lifestyle. Weak spreadsheet, great to live, rough to buy for yield in 2026. You're not ready for what the rankings reveal about cheap versus safe and why the loudest bargains end up taking the most from your monthly. You thought the deals lived on the edge. In 2026, the edge is where cash flow goes to die. Cheap list prices, expensive lives. Let that sink in. Across Arizona, exurbs stacked new builds on thin job bases. Now forecasts look flat while HOAs, insurance, and utilities climb. Rents refuse to carry the note. It's real, it's happening. So the safe place shifts closer to real jobs, stable rents, and controlled supply. Affordability is the divider. Cheap without demand is a slow burn loss. Phoenix isn't a bargain, it's just less dangerous than the billboards. So where do you go from here? Like this video so the algorithm thinks I'm important. Subscribe because someday you'll want to escape. Would you live where the mortgage is cheap but the utilities eat your paycheck? Drop a yes or nope in the comments.